Hey everybody, it's Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game called Vinhos. Vinhos is a game designed by Vito Lacerda. We affectionately like to call him Uncle Vito. My version is published by Z-Man Games, but there are some versions published by Eagle Griffin, which is a new fancy deluxe version, and originally published by What's Your Game, I believe. And this plays 2 to 4 players. How long does this say? A long time. 90 to 180 minutes. If you're playing a 4-player game of this, it's going to take you a minute. Effectively, what you're doing is you are running some vineyards, trying to produce wine, sell that wine to score the most points. You're going to be selling to the foreign market. You're going to be selling to the domestic, like local restaurants and businesses. You're going to be putting your wine in a wine fair to score some points, and you're trying to get certain types of sommeliers on your side too by giving them some wine. So that's it. You're making, producing, selling, donating wine to score the most points. So that's enough talking about it. Let's go on the table. Check it out. All right, so here's a game of Vinhos. Almost all the way set up for 2 players. Let's go over setup really quickly because this game is a beast and it's going to take me a minute to talk about what you're doing in this game. So to set up, you're going to put the board out in the center of the table, give each player a player board and all the bits of their color. In a 2-player game, the first player is going to get 11 bagos. The second player is going to get 12,000 bagos, and you're going to notify turn order here. You're going to put a disc of each color on the 0 score space, 0 at the wine fair, 5 at the bank, +1 on the investment track, and then you're going to shuffle up all of these appropriate wine experts. They have colors at the bottom so you know which deck to go on, and put them all face up on one of those 4 spaces. In a 2-player game, we have 5 wine cellar tiles, 8 winery tiles, and we're going to be using 6 of the 8 vineyards, and these are the vineyards that I've picked here: 1, 3, 5, 2, 4, 8, or 4, 6, 8. You're going to put the taxation marker on space 1, and you're going to put your action markers in the center passing region here. All right, now, and the oenologist will be hanging out over there, and weather tiles and cubes. All right, I think that's the setup. Now let's just talk about what we're going to do in the game. The first thing we have to do before we even get started is each of us get to start with a winery, a vineyard on our board that's going to automatically produce some wine. So there's 6 vineyards. The vineyards have a cost in the money symbol here, and they all may have some kind of special ability. So the region 1 is only $3,000, but you can never put a wine cellar on it. That's why it's cheaper. Region 3, it's $5,000. When you buy it, it will come with a free wine cellar, which makes your wine better. Region 5 comes with a free winery. Region 4 comes with 2 Porto tokens. That means when you produce wine, you can either produce it at the normal 2 value, or you can spend one of those and produce it at the value 5. Region 6, every cube that you take out the space here is worth 2 instead of 1. We'll get to that. And region 8 has an inherent extra like value. There's value and there's like age. And the circle is value and the squares are age. All right. So red is first. So they're going to buy one of these vineyard tiles. And I think, I'm going to take this one. So I'm going to take this one. Cost me $5,000, 5 bagos, 5,000 bagos. Then I'm going to put this on my region here. It comes with 2 Porto tiles normally, but I'm going to make a 5 as the start, and I'll just keep this one here. So I'm going to make a 5 white wine, because when you buy the initial tile, you automatically produce. And I have my other port tile there. And then I'm going to take my disc and put it in the region where I bought that. And I'll put 1 cube of renown in the region. Next player, they can do the same thing. They can buy from the same region. They can buy from their own region. And I think they want to buy this one. They're going to buy this. Cost them 5 bagos, 5,000 bagos. And they will flip this. Comes with a free wine cellar. And they're going to produce at a value 2. And they have white wine as well. Kind of hate these tiles here, but that's fine. All right. So 2 white wine. Done. Now we're ready to start playing. Oh, they have to put their disc out. 2 here. All right, now we're ready to start. So the way the game works is, on your turn, you're going to move your action marker around, and you may be able to use some special free actions up here in the manager area, but we're not there yet, and we might not get to that. But this is basically a place where you can go spend some wine to get some free bonus actions. Now, the way the game works is, you can move your worker to any space that's diagonal or orthogonally adjacent for free. So from the middle, you can move anywhere you want. There's a couple exceptions. If you move to where another marker is, you have to pay $1,000. So if I move here, the round marker's there, so I have to pay the bank 1,000 bagos. If the blue player was here and I move here, I'd have to pay the blue player 1,000. If the blue player and the bank was over there, I'd have to pay 1,000 to the supply, 1,000 to the blue player. And if I was down here in the corner and I wanted to go up here because it's not adjacent, I had to pay $1,000. So that's how movement works. So let's talk about the actions. You get to buy a vineyard. Put a cube on the space, which I forgot to do for this player. Put a cube on the space, and then it doesn't produce though. You'll get the bonus if it comes with a bonus, but it will not produce right now. And it costs whatever the value is there. 2,000, you can buy 1 winery or 1 wine cellar. Put it on a current vineyard. You can't have more than 1 wine cellar. And you put a cube in the region. 3, you can buy up to 2 vineyards for $3,000 a piece, and then put a cube anywhere you want. Same with the cellar, you put a cube anywhere you want. When you buy a vineyard, it goes to where you bought the vineyard from. Down here, you can buy up to 2 experts for $1,000 a piece. We'll get back to this. Over here, you can buy up to 2 oenologists for $2,000 a piece. They work in the wineries. They're going to make your wine production better. Down here, you're going to export your wine to the foreign market. Down here, you're going to sell the wine to the local market for money. This is for points. This is for money in your bank account. And this will let you go deposit money, withdraw money in your bank account, invest, or divest. You can always divest, but to invest and withdraw and deposit, you got to take this action. All right, and we'll get to the passing when we do it. I'll probably do it. So each year, a year is a square. So this, when it's down here, that will go into year 2. Each year, we're going to take 2 turns. So we'll go ahead and start. Red is first. So red, what do I want to do? You know, I'm going to just buy another winery, get that all, a vineyard. I'll get that all out of the way. So we'll come up here. I'm going to buy a vineyard. And let's see. I'm going to buy Lisboa. So I'll put my disc down. I get a free vineyard tile, winery tile. So I'll put that here. It doesn't matter where they go. You just can't have multiple types in each estate. This is an estate, so we have 4 estates. All right, and you can't mix colors of wine. So if I had a white here, I couldn't put a red wine from region 4. That would have to be a new estate. All right, and did I pay for that? I don't think I did. That's $5,000. No, I did not. All right, so I paid for that. Got a free winery tile. I'm done. And then I had to put a renown cube in the Lisboa region. All right, now it's blue's turn. Blue is, let's see, what do they want to do? Let's get a couple experts. So I'll pay $2,000. And we'll take an expert in blue. We'll just put them down here for now, because I probably won't build all of these. And I'll take an expert in green, because I really like that special ability. All right, done. And these will go off to the side. I'm just for space regions. All right, and that's action 1. Now we're going to action 2. Red gets to go again. And I think what I want to do is, man, that feels good. I'm going to buy a wine cellar for this one. That cost me 2,000. Oh, I don't have 2,000. So I'm going to divest. At any time on your turn, you can divest. So I'll go down here and I'll get $2,000. So I'm going to spend that $2,000 to buy this tile. Did that. And then I get to put a renown cube anywhere I want. And I think I'm going to put it in, let's put it in region 4. All right, done. Now it's blue's turn. Blue, they want to buy a vineyard. So they're actually going to use one of these abilities. So they're going to buy the vineyard at 1,000 bagos less. So what you do is you flip those down when you use them. And then, what do they want to buy? Let's do this one. So they're going to buy this one. It's going to cost them 3,000 now because they got 1,000 bagos discount. And they wanted that one because they wanted to have some red wine. And they'll put a renowned cube there. And every cube from this region is worth, oh no, that's region 8, sorry. And every cube from this is still worth +1, but this has an intrinsic value of an extra 1. And that'll make sense in a minute. All right, so that is that. Now we go on to maintenance. So in maintenance, you would pay any of your enologists and you would earn income in your bank account if you're still up in that point. So blue gets $1,000. I do not get any because I divested. All right, now we produce. So production works like this. Any wine you have is going to age. Notice I only have 2 spaces. So if I don't get a wine cellar here, that's going to age out and not be worth any money anymore. And it's just going to spoil, I guess. Okay, so we age everything first. Then what we're going to do is we're going to produce according to the weather tile. You can see the weather tile doesn't add anything. Sometimes it'll make wine producing harder. Sometimes it'll make it better. First year, nothing crazy happens. So you're going to produce at this plus any vineyards or enologists that you have. Okay, so here I can I'm going to make it a 5. Actually, I can discard this tile. And I'll now do a 2 plus a 3, so I get another 5. Another 5 white wine. Okay. Then I'll produce this one, so it's a 2 plus 1. I don't have an enologist, so it doesn't go up any higher. So I get a 3 white wine. Plus an intrinsic 1 value, so it's actually a 4 white wine. Then over here, this player is going to do a 2 white wine. Finding these pieces is so annoying. I wish this was a different method, but c'est la vie, I guess. All right, so we got a 2, which is actually a 3 because it has that built-in intrinsic value. And then this one is a 2 red, and it has a 1, a built-in 1 value as well. Oh, that's a 7, not a 2. Learn your numbers, kid. All right, there's a 2. All right, that's that. Now we have produced. Now we go on to year 2. First thing that happens is we get a new tile. This is going to do some good stuff here. So we haven't even talked about the wine fair, but this is going to lead us to that. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to adjust the alcohol content up by 3 and this up by 2. And then when we produce this year, it's a really great harvest year. So we're going to produce at +2, which is pretty awesome. All right, so now let's start round 2. All right, so round 2, red still first. So what do they want to do? I think what red wants to do is they don't have any money, man. That's rough. That is rough. So let's see. Have $1,000. It's terrible. That's fine. Okay, so I'll go over here. I'm going to hire 1 enologist. I can hire 2, but I only have $1,000, 1,000 bagos. So I take an enologist. I have 1 winery for them to work in, so they will hang out right there. And now when I produce, it's going to produce at a level 5 because it's 2 plus 1 plus 2 for this guy. All right, now it's blue. What does blue want to do? They have 2,000. So I think what they want to do is they're going to buy another wine cellar. So that costs 2,000. And this goes into the wine cellar, so it increases its value immediately, which is nice. And I get to put a cube down wherever I have from region 8 and region 3. Let's do region 3. And these cubes will make sense when we get to either the passing or the wine fair. Now it's action number 2. All right. What do I need to do with money? So, all right. So I'm actually going to sell. I'm going to try to get some money in my bank account. So I am going to sell to the local market here, the restaurants. Now the way that this works is you're going to take a wine from your board here, maybe make it more popular and all that, and you're going to take the money and put it in your bank account. Now let's show you how that works. So I have 2 of these. I'm going to take this one. It's from region 3, so it's a value 3. So 2 plus 1, it's a value 3. Then from region 3, I can take up to 2 renown cubes to make this wine better by 1, and I will take 1. It's now a 4. So it's a level 4 white wine. So I discard the tile. I take one of my barrels. Oh shoot, that's Red's. Sorry, shoot, dang it. Just kidding. This is Red's turn. So just pretend I didn't do any of that. Okay. Red's going to do that. So what Red's going to do is this wine is going to expire because I don't have a wine cellar. So I'm going to spend this 5. So a level 5 white. Now I can do the same thing that I just showed you with the blue player. For region 4, I can take a cube off, which I will do. And I'm actually going to make it a level 6 white wine. So when I take this, I put this on level 6 and discard that wine tile, and I take 6,000 and I add that to my bank account. So I'm at 5, so I'm now at 11,000 bucks. So now when I go to the bank, I can withdraw to be able to have more cash on hand to buy vineyards, hire people that I need, and all that kind of stuff. All right, so now blue's turn. Blue really needs some money. I have no money. So they're going to divest as well, like I did. So they'll go down here. They'll get $2,000 for cash on hand. And what do they want to do? Not smart, but they're going to do this. They're going to come over here. They're going to spend this. So they're going to get a discount of 1, and they're going to, we'll move the money. They're going to hire or buy another vineyard for $2,000. And it cannot have a winery, spent the money, and I forgot to put some disc down. So they'll put a disc here, and they will put a disc, what else do they have? 381 right there. All right. And that is the action number 2 from year 2. Let's move on to maintenance. All right, so now we move to maintenance. We're going to do the same thing, except now we have an oenologist to pay for Red. So Red, if you look right here, one oenologist costs $1,000. I don't earn any money, so I just drop this down by 1. Nobody gets any investments, so none of that. So we're done with maintenance. Then we're going to go to production. So same thing, we're going to age all the wine up. Then we're going to produce. So they're going to be producing a lot. So it's going to produce at an extra level 2, an extra 2 level. So let's start with Red. So this is going to be a 2 plus 2. So this is now a 4. 4. Okay. 4 white wine. This one's going to be a 2, 3, 5. This is going to be a 7, which is amazing. White wine. They're going to do a 2. They're going to do a 4 white. They're going to do a 2, a 4 red, because everything produces at 2 extra. And they're also going to be doing a 4 white down here. So 4 white, 4 red. All right, and that is production. Let's move on to year 3. So we get rid of this tile, get another weather tile out. It's a bad year. We're going to produce at 2 less, and all the discs here are going to move 1. And we're going to show you what that means coming up in this round. So let's take a look at round 3. All right, so now let's do round 3. And I think what I want to do now is Red is going to do the passing action because I want to show you how that works. So we'll go here. When you pass, this comes down here. It's going to adjust turn order. You can pick whichever you want, but they want to keep going first. So we're going to pass. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to enter a wine into the wine fair. Now, a couple things here. This is the most complicated and convoluted piece of the game. So I'm going to try to explain it as clearly as I can, but it's kind of funky. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to put the best wine that we can in here that's going to allow us to hire to use a certain number of experts to score the most points. We're trying to get our discs as far around here as possible to score a number of points for each of the 3 wine fairs. There's going to be 3 wine fairs, which are here, here, and here. So that's enough talking. Let's just kind of do it. So I'm going to put this one in the wine fair. It's a 7, 8 white. Okay, it's an 8 white, so 7 plus 1 intrinsic value, an 8, and I can bump it up by using a disc from level 5, which I will. So now it's a level 9. So if I look at this, a level 9 value gives me a 4. So I'll take my 4, get rid of this. My level 4, and I can take it, put it on any of these spaces. Now what this is going to do, it's going to give me an immediate bonus of either an expert, 3,000 bagos, or 2 extra points in the wine fair. And I really want some money, so let's go with blue and red. We'll go blue and red. I'll explain why that's important in a minute. So I'm going to take 3,000. Now, I'm going to score blue and red points now. So if you look at blue, you follow it up, it's worth 2. Red is worth 1. So I'm going to move my disc 3 spaces. I now have 3 points in the wine fair. Okay? Now I'm done for now. That's entering a wine into the fair. This 4 means how many wine experts I can submit when we get to the actual wine fair at the end of this year. But we'll get to that. Now, another thing you can do when you submit wine is you're able to influence the managers up here. There's Alexandra, or Alex, Beatrice, and Constantino. Now, the way that this works is that they want 3 different types of things. So, Alex here, he wants white wine. Beatrice, she wants at least a 4 value or higher. And Constantino wants wine from 2, 4, 5, and 8 regions. Okay, so I had a level 9 white from region 5. So I actually meet all these criteria. But you can only ever put out 2 barrels. And I think I want to put out a barrel here and here on Alexandre and Beatrice. And I'll try to explain how those work later. I might not, but I'll try to at least do it once so we can see it. And that's red turn. That's all the passing actions. You move your disc to the spot that you want when you pass. You do all this stuff over here. You may put up to 1 or 2 barrels on the appropriate managers if you meet the criteria. And then you're going to score some fair points. All right, so now blue. Do they want to do that as well? I don't think so. I think they'll wait, but they don't have any money. They have no money. So, yeah, I think they'll come down here too. This is the only region you can go, the only action space you can go to and not have to pay money if there's someone else there. So blue's going to pass as well, so they'll come down. So turn order stays the same. And they're going to do the exact same thing that I did. So they want to enter, let's see. Let's do this one. So they're going to do a level 5. So it's 2 plus 3 intrinsic value. Level 5 white from region 3. And they'll use 2 discs, 2 cubes. That'll bump it up 2. So that's a level 7 white from region 3. So they're going to, level 7 is 3. So they'll use their number 3. Discard this. So level 7 white, region 3. Okay. And then they will go, they want some money as well. So they'll take 3 grand. All right, and then they'll score yellow and green, which is 1, 3. So they're going to get 3 points as well. And now they sold a white, a level 7 from region 3. So they can only put barrels on Alexandre and Beatrice, and they will do that. So they're going to do the same thing with me. All right, and that's their turn. Now we're moving on to action 2. So now we have some money. So red, I'm going to actually move here. And I need to buy some experts, hire some experts. So I can use red and blue. So I'll hire 2. And I'll hire a red and a blue. All right. And that is my turn. Now it's blue's turn, and blue wants to, I want to show you this. So they're going to export some wine. So they're going to come down here and they're going to export to score some points. Now the way this works is similar to this one, but instead of getting money, you're going to get points now and some area control at the end of the game, which are up here. Red points are instant, white points are at the end of the game. All right, and I think they want to do, you need to have at least the value 6. So they will do this one, which is a 4, 5, 6, because it has 2 intrinsic values. So this is a 6 already. From region 8, they're going to use a cube. So that's now at a level 7, and it's red. So a level 7 red. Color doesn't matter here, though. So they're going to take their disc here, their barrel, and they're going to take any 7 that's on this board. And I think they're going to do this one. Okay, you have to mark it at 7. And they're going to get, if they have the most barrels here at the end of the game, they'll get 6. But now they're going to get 5 points. So blue is now in the lead with 5 points. All right, and that is action 2. Now we're going to go to maintenance. I still have an oenologist. I'm not earning any money, so I got to go down 1. They don't have 1. They don't get any investments. So done with maintenance. Then we're going to come up here to production. So it's normal rules here. I should have spent this because now I lost it. That was not smart. So everything will age up. Even if there's space to the right of it, it doesn't matter. It still ages up. And then we're going to produce. So we produced at 2 less this year. So this one isn't even going to produce because it's a 2. So 2 minus 2 is 0. It has to at least be at a 1 to produce. This one's 2, 3, 5. So this is going to produce at a 3. And it's white. This one will be a 2, so it doesn't produce. This one will not produce. This one will not produce. So this is a terrible, terrible year. All right, now we're going to do a wine fair. All right, so we've already set up the wine fair. Basically, if you didn't do the passing action during the round, you would do all of that stuff now. So you'd enter a wine into the fair. Every player can only enter 1 wine into the fair. So we've already done that. Now, what happens here is players are going to take some wine experts, put them in their hand, and they're going to reveal them. You're only allowed to use as many wine experts as the number on your tile and the colors that are under your wine expert. So I can use blue and red. So they can't use any. So I'm just going to use both of these. Put them in my hand, then I reveal. A couple things happen here. If there's a little marker with an arrow, it moves the token one way. Now, something else happens. This is the main reason you want to use experts. They're going to score those colors again. So red will get 1 point, will give me 1 point. Blue will give me 2, so I'm going to get 3 more points. And then when you use experts in the wine fair, they go back to the bottom of the stack. So unlike being able to use them for their abilities, I'm using them, oh shoot, wrong colors. I'm using them for their color value to help out in the wine fair. Then what happens is, after everybody's done that, we're going to score some wine fair points. So round 1 is here. In a 2-player game, we're going to score here. In a 2-player game, we're only going to score 1st and 3rd place points. So I'm in 1st place, which is red, so I'll get 9 points. Blue is in 2nd, so they will get 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, and then based on the lowest value of the wine fair, that becomes a new turn order. So we'll do that. And then these stay where they are. They never come down. You take your token back. And we're ready to start the next year. So we clean up, do all that stuff, did that. Then we come back over here. Any expert you have at the beginning of a year after the wine fair will get flipped over. So now this player has 2 wine fairs they can use, or 2 wine experts that they can use again for their abilities. Then we're going to keep going through all that again. We'll get a new weather tile, adjust all that accordingly, and we're going to keep playing through this year, next year, and the following year. Whoever has the most points after all of that is the winner. Now, one thing I didn't show you, which is pretty important, and I want to show it to you, is how to use these experts. So before you take an action on your turn, you can discard any wine that you want. So say I want to discard this, okay? Doesn't matter. It can be any value. Discard that wine. Then I can take this barrel and I can move it to any location in that column. All these are in-game points, so they're going to score based on what they show. So for wine cellars, winery, money on hand, enologist, all that kind of thing. These here are going to be actions that you can take during the game. So say I wanted to take this, I would go here, and I could then take a free export action to score some points. So that's how those people work. They're just going to give you extra opportunities to take actions, because during the game you're only going to be taking 12 actions. So you want to get the most out of that as you can. So after you do all that, after the 3rd wine fair, game's over. Whoever has the most points is the winner. And that's how you play Vinhos. Let's go up the top, see what we think about it. All right, well, that was Vinhos. So this is my first time, I believe, that I've ever covered a Vital game on our channel. I mean, I've done some snippets and stuff, but never a full review of a Vital game, which is sad. But the reason why, they're beasts. As you can see, this game is a beast. So I'm pretty happy with that. That's a milestone for me. It's finally covering a Vital game on our channel. Now let's talk about components. The components are fine. You saw the components. The coolest part of the components are these cool little barrels right here. Outside of that, disc and cubes. I like the graphic design of the board. It has the typical What's Your Game layout and look of the board. They have a certain style that they like, and you can see it in all of the boards from their games. The rule book is really nice. Has everything broken down on the back of what stuff does, setup, pictures, great examples. I mean, pictures, just tons of examples on how to play this game, because this game is a beast. I also have a little sheet in here for some variants, because one of the variants that I actually used is the scoring of the wine fair, which in a 2-player game you use first and third place instead of first and second. I don't use a ton of the other ones, but I like that because it makes the wine fair a little more important in a 2-player game, because otherwise, you know, I'm getting 9, second player's getting 6. That's not a big swing. But in the first round, I get 9, you get 3. That's a bigger deal. So I like that. Now, this game is great. I love it. I've played this version, well, obviously, and I've also played the deluxe version. And I actually prefer this one because I feel like the graphic design on the board makes it works in my brain a little better. The new one's gorgeous. It has amazing production, but I got used to playing this one. So when I tried to play that other one, even though it's the same game, looking at the board had me confused and all that. But if you want to play Vinhos and you have, you know, $150 laying around for that new shiny one, grab it. It's amazing. It looks great. It has this classic version. It also has like a new streamlined version, which is the one we play, that doesn't have the bank and it does some different stuff. I didn't love it because I like the bank and the beefiness and all that. But so if you want this one and you want good art, it is in that game. So don't worry about that. But yeah, I love this. I love Vital games. You know that. We have this. We have Gallerist, CO2, Lisboa, and Kanban. We love the games. This may be not my favorite, but it's one that I like to play the most, I think, because I like the theme of it. There's not a ton of great wine games. Viticulture and this one are two that come to mind really quickly. I don't have anything but good stuff to say about this game. So I'm not going to say anything else other than I love it, and it gets a BGM acceptance seal. This is going to get a 9 out of 10 on BGG, which is a 4.5 out of 5 wrenches on an arbitrary wrench scale. That means absolutely nothing, but we like to give it the games that we enjoy, and that's what I'm going to do. So that is Vinhos from Z-Man or What's Your Game or Eagle Griffin, whichever version that you have. I'm Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.